Oh, second video of the day. One which I feel is very prominent in today's um, climate with social media and everything. So, Instagram or Instasham. Why? You go back 10 years ago, okay? You had in the gyms. You had guys who you trained to be a bodybuilder. The reasons for that were that you didn't have these influences like men's physique, classic bodybuilding. You didn't have that kind of stuff. It was bodybuilding. I went to the gym to train as a bodybuilder. Every person I know, even the friends I have today, we all trained to be bodybuilders. Now, granted, they didn't train like to be competitive bodybuilders, but they still thought of themselves as doing bodybuilding training. Now, you go today into any gym and it's a disaster because look, you go in and you have these guys and they think they're the next Jeremy Bundia or fucking next, you know, Ziz or the next, it's pathetic. I mean, like, look, Instagram, it's great, okay, it's great, but it provides, I think, a very good medium for someone such as myself, someone such as any person who wants to make a name for themselves and provide content. It is there as a medium to be used. But on the downside, it also allows these people who have absolutely no reason or base to put out these content. And it's absolutely horrible. You have these young guys in the gym now, and they go around thinking they're Mr. Big Dick. And it's like, okay, look, you look great. You have a set of abs. You have, you're wearing a t-shirt. You're wearing a lot of a wife beater top. The lighting, gym lighting makes you look about 4% body fat. Even when you're 10% body fat and you think you're the shit, guess what? You didn't fucking exist in the gyms 10 fucking years ago. It blows my mind how the people go onto these accounts and they have all these fans and they're getting all this attention. It's like you don't. What have you really achieved to deserve this attention? It's like there's so many of these guys in my gym. I mean, it's ridiculous. You have fucking, what's his name? Can't even remember his fucking name. Yeah. You have this Adam Gresty fella. Okay, eh, okay, great. You take some Winstrol, you take some Masteron, you look reasonably okay. You train half-arsed and you put up a bicep shot every day or an ab shot every day in the same mirror, in the same pose, in the same position. There's literally no diversity in any way that he posts any of his pictures or any of his content. Yeah, he's providing social media, online coaching, and yeah, he's getting this attention. It's like, it's sad because, Jesus, I wouldn't want a young guy going up to him and asking for advice. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, it's pathetic. I mean, when I asked advice, when I started training, the first person people I asked for training advice were bodybuilders who had competed, proper trainers, people who had a well balanced physique, had a bit of integrity to themselves. If anything, it's pathetic, absolutely pathetic. I mean, I think in much of a sense, I think the Americans, you had the American trendsetters, so you had Matt Ogus, people like that, Nick Wright, people like that, young guys who weren't necessarily competitive bodybuilders, but they still had a bit of integrity. Nick Wright's a good powerlifter. He has a great clothing line. He's things like that. You have little things like that. You know. Again, you have guys like what's his name, Kyle Mullen. Cullen Fitness. I don't get it. It's like, why would you aspire to be something that is so? I don't find it inspirational. I mean, Like, I mean, Carl, he put up a post the other day. I remember it's like 10-week transformation, and he said he didn't try hard. It's like, yeah, no shit, you didn't try hard. You look like shit. You look like you're still about 7%. You haven't that much of a transformation yet again. The gym lighting, it's like the ego gets into your head. You think you're something that you're not. It's like, look, Rob Lipsett is probably the only guy that I can confidently say has made a name for himself, is appealing to the mass market, and I'll tell you why he is. Number one, he doesn't say anything controversial. He's a fake natural. Number three, he doesn't seem to be, he doesn't say anything that breaks any boundaries. So when you have a young guy going onto his YouTube, it's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to look at him because he's like Boston Lloyd. No, it's more, I'm going to look at him because he's easy to watch, easy content to digest. Is it great content? Not necessarily, but there's a lot of it, and there's a Q&A, certain things like that, and he appeals to the mass market. So when a person looks at him and sees what he's done, I mean, fair play to the guy. I remember him when he started off, but again, he did come from money. He had a basis to go off, but his content has been consistent. He has a good market base. So he is a trendsetter in the Irish social media scene. However, pisses me off now is you have these guys like Kyle Mullen and Adam Gresty, whoever else. I have friends. I remember I used to train this young guy, Nick, great guy. But these young guys are they don't have any fucking clue about how social media works, how the gym industry works, how the fitness industry works. It's like you have to stand out above the others to fucking break the mold to get a bit of attention. Anyway, I remember I was driving him home. I asked him, "What do you want to do?" It's like, "Oh, I think I want to open a gym." It's like, "Oh my god, you want to open a gym? You haven't left school yet. You want to open a gym? Jesus!" It's like, and they and then next thing I know, they're going to start offering online coaching and things like that, as I did in my earlier video. But my point is, look, these guys have young guys looking up to them, and it's disappointing because as role models, they're about the least. They're the last person I would look at to be a role model in the fitness industry. Like they've been training for maybe 2, 3 years. They look half-assed. They have unbalanced physiques, and then again, they act like cunts to the people in the gym, acting like they're Mr. Big Dick. It's like you're training in a hoodie, you're wearing a belt, you take off your hoodie, you start posing in the mirror, and then you put back on your hoodie. Are you a bodybuilder? No, you're training to do a men's physique show where you're probably going to place fifth in your category, not even the overall. It's like, leave your ego at the fucking door of the gym. Like any good bodybuilder that I knows, if they're asked a question, if I'm asked a question in the gym, when I'm not under the bar, look, I'm all up for a chat. I'm only in the zone when I'm, lifting the weights, when I'm pushing the leg press or doing the squats. But these guys, they walk around like they're fucking like 1 week out from the Olympia, like they're Phil Heath. It's like, Jesus. It's like, leave your ego at the door. You're nobody. I'm nobody, but at least I know I'm nobody. It's like you're the big fish out of maybe 10, 12 people. It's like, but you have these young guys looking up to you. It's like, oh, I want to be like him. It's like, what has he achieved? He says he's a sponsored athlete. He puts type in Kyle 10 or Cullen 10 or fucking Rob 10 or Mick 10 on myprotein.ie. You might get a bit of a little discount, and you might get these points built up, and you promote these fake fucking products, and you get sponsorship in terms of maybe a tub of protein a month. Sponsorship means you get paid financially to support yourself. You actually are able to support yourself by doing what you do. There's a small handful of people in this country who are able to do that. Except these guys, acting like Mr. Big Dick, are not these guys. They're not the guys who are really sponsored, who are really providing good content. It's like I remember I go on their Instagram or whatever. It's like, oh, funny class video, hardcore training session being filmed today. We'll put it, or it's being filmed today. We'll post it on the YouTube. Click on the link above. I remember watching these sessions being filmed. It's like they didn't say a word to each other. They wouldn't laugh a joke. And it wasn't even a hard training session. It's like, Jesus, there was no sets to failure. I mean, I go into the gym, I do these sets till I can do no more sets. And when I do no more sets, I do negatives. So I can do no more negative. I'm fucked. I get to a stage where I go home. I have to sleep for a couple of hours, eat some food, go to work if I'm working that day, then go to the gym again. These guys, they don't train hard. They train with this lack of intensity. They seem to be doing this powerlifting thing, and it's like, fuck me. It's like, look, it really is a fucking Instasham. You know, Instagram should be fucking ashamed of themselves for providing these guys with a media outlet for these young guys to, like, younger guys. If I was 16 and I had Instagram and I looked at these guys, it's a bloody shame you don't have guys like Brian, like all these genuine bodybuilders in this country. I mean, I posted about top to five bodybuilders, yet all these ragtaggers commented on me. It's like, why didn't you post him? Why didn't you post him? None of the bodybuilders that I even did post are providing consistent updates in a large form for these young guys to look up to. However, every single time I have told the guy who has asked me, what do you do? Who did you look up to? I tell them. I look up to guys like Brian Hickey, Lachlan Gannon, uh, Tommy Stunt, you know, other great Irish bodybuilders. Billy Bourne, you know, look at the content, the things these guys have done. If only they put out more content for younger guys to look up to instead of these Instagram big fishes in the small pond type people who are providing the content, bodybuilding wouldn't be dying, or at least a small subculture. It would be growing. I mean, it's sad. I mean, it's like, and another thing, it's like these guys who post natural beside themselves on Instagram, it's like, dude, I can see your physique. I know what it looks like when you take some halotestin or you take some Winstrol or you know what I mean, and you take some fucking Clen. I've had these guys ask me for fucking Clen or where to get Clen for a friend. It's like, you're not. Don't lie to the young guys who think. And the sad thing is, your physique is entirely achievable without any anabolic assistance. You're just not willing to put in the fucking work to get that, to get that look. It's like, granted, if you want to compete, if you want to turn yourself, push to the next level, do what you got to do. But Jesus Christ, do not promote yourself as something you are not. Post it on Instagram and then have these young guys look up to you and then tell them what to do. It's terrible. It's terrible. And they're taking more shit, taking more anabolics than any of the bodybuilders I know as well, or at least the same. And they look like fucking shit. They train like half hours. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. It really is. So, do I feel to wrap up the video? Do I feel that social media and Instagram things like that are a plus in providing bodybuilding content and allowing bodybuilders to promote themselves? Yes, I do. However, in Ireland, I don't think enough bodybuilders are promoting themselves and are helping younger guys via social media as much as they should be. You go to America, and American athletes are all over it. Seth Feroce doesn't even compete. He has a site dedicated to helping up and coming bodybuilders. All American Roughneck. He doesn't compete. He hasn't competed in years. Yet he's one of the faces of he's, if I was to tell someone you want an instructor, you want a bodybuilder to look up to, go to him. Talks about anabolics, talks about training, talks about nutrition, talks about everything in a way that a young guy can digest. You know, Jay Cutler, another one, promotes himself everything. Kai Green promotes himself, but in Ireland, it's like you have guys like Tommy. They don't promote themselves. You know, our last Nabba, Mr. Ireland, doesn't promote himself. You know, Brian Hickey does promote himself. In all fairness to himself, he has a well-established personal training company. He had a great gym. I know. I'm friends with various of his clients. Who else? Who else? It's hard because I actually there's not that many bodybuilders I can name that do promote themselves. There isn't. It's like Lachlan Gannon, freak of a bodybuilder, is not on social media all that much, and I respect that. He grinds away, comes back, competes, goes away, but it's like I feel that guys like him and other bodybuilders like would be able to help these younger guys see the real knowledge and grasp the real truth. And it's just like, but they're not as out there as these younger guys who are providing this fake, useless content, and because of it, they have these huge egos. It's like, go to America, nobody gives a fuck who you are. Like, even in Ireland, outside of the gym industry, nobody gives a fuck who you are. So lose that ego. Lose it. I mean, the only guys who have any right to say anything are guys who have established a decent physique, number one, have competed, number two, and done well in the shows, or are providing proper content for people to follow. Not sticking up a bicep shot while eating a burger or sticking up an ab shot in the mirror all every day. No diversity. It's just my view. Just my view. Like, hopefully some people will take something from this. Uh, I'm all up for doing Q&As. Look, again, look, you want me to upload more videos? Please subscribe to the channel. The views are going up. But subscribe to the channel, so and even suggest for me topics to talk about. An interview. I'd be happy to do an honest to God interview with anyone, and I don't hold back. I'll ask the questions that need to be asked. I'm not going to ask, "Oh, so what's your favorite protein source?" I'm going to ask, how does it feel when you're 2 weeks out from a contest prep and soon content will be provided, but subscribe to the channon. Oh no.